Hey, don't you love that your customer loves you long before they even meet you? They come through the door with a smile on their face, so happy to meet you, the salesperson. Yeah, no, probably not. Why do your customers feel the way they do about salespeople? We'll get into that today on The Buyer's Mind.
Welcome to The Buyer's Mind, where we take a closer look deep inside your customer's decision-making mechanism to reverse engineer the perfect sales presentation. Now, please welcome your host, Jeff Shore.
Well, welcome everyone once again to another episode of The Buyer's Mind. My name is Jeff Shore, your host for this podcast, as we want to know more about the way that our customers think. We always take that tack that if I understand the way that my buyer wants to buy, well, I can reverse engineer my sales presentation, make it easy for them to do just that. And today we're going to get into the idea of what customers think about salespeople. And my guess is that you probably already have that sense in your mind of, and it might be a negative reaction when you think about it, you go, what does a typical customer think about when they think about salespeople? And that's actually confirmed through research. I can think of a number of studies, but one done by Daniel Pink when he was researching the book To Sell is Human, talking to people on the street, even with the word association. I say salesperson, you say what? And the comments weren't good. But why? I mean, people don't come out of the womb with a fear of salespeople. It's not like we took a class in school, but biases do form over time. That's just a natural part of being a human. We have those biases that are going to creep up there. We all have them. You and I have them. All of our buyers have them as well. Now, those biases can come from a number of different places. It might be through their direct experience. Perhaps they've had negative experience with salespeople in the past. It didn't go well, and so they're carrying that distrust into a separate conversation. It might be just word of mouth. They hear from other people, oh, yeah, I got taken advantage, or this guy was a criminal, or that person was just sleazy, or whatever it was. But oftentimes it's just the media, the way that salespeople are portrayed on television shows and movies and whatever it might be. And the brain has a very difficult time sorting out reality from the synthetic reality that we often see in the media. And let's face it, the media is less than kind when it comes to the portrayal of salespeople. But what does it all mean? By the time we're done, it adds up to paradigms. Paradigms just define the way that we see ourselves and the way we see the world around us. So I carry these paradigms, these points of view, sometimes referred to as heuristics or decision-making shortcuts that I'm going to take into a situation. So if I carry around this paradigm, this heuristic, that salespeople are not to be trusted or that salespeople are pushy or whatever it is, I'm going to walk into the environment. Your customers will walk into your environment, and they're carrying that bias with them. But now add to that just some of the common fears that customers are going to carry into a purchase decision. Do I want to do this in the first place? Will I miss out if I buy the wrong thing? And am I overpaying? Have I done my research? So now I got to carry all my own fears as a customer into this. And by the way, after the time we're done here, my customer is overwhelmed, right? I've got this fear of salespeople. I got the fear of what's going on in my own life. And I'm going to end up taking it out on you. That's what will happen. Now, look, I'm sorry, I don't want to make enemies, but I'm going to admit to you right here that I'm a nicer person at a cocktail party than I am when I'm walking onto a car lot. Okay? So even I've been studying the sales profession for a lot of years, and I'm still subject to that same fear and that same potentially negative emotion that I can carry into an environment. And guess what? The buyer gets to feel however the buyer wants to feel. They owe you nothing. They owe me nothing. When the customer walks through the door carrying all of their fears, all of their biases, all of their paradigm, they walk through the door and they owe you nothing. It is your job to prove to the customer that you are not the salesperson that they feared. And the way that we do this is we begin with a unilateral decision of the way that I am going to behave, the way that I am going to feel, the way that I am going to treat the person in front of me. You see, all too often in sales and in life, we make bilateral decisions, or more appropriately, responsive decisions. I'll be nice to you, if you're nice to me. But if I'm nice to you and you're not nice to me back, well, I'm going to change the rules and I'm not going to be nice either. There's a lot of human nature going on there, but what it looks like in the sales process is very, very dangerous. And that's why this has to be a unilateral decision. And I believe that unilateral decision must be to outlast any negativity, to outlast any bias that the customer might have brought with them through the door. Here's the good news. Those paradigms, those heuristics that your customers carry, they are moldable. They can be changed, but you have to make the decision to absolutely own that. And you have to make the decision in advance. There's a mindset shift that needs to take place even before the customer walks through the door. That first step will be for you to look at it and say, this person will love me, or at least respect me, very, very soon. But I also want to make the decision that regardless of their behavior when they walk through the door, I've made a unilateral decision to be kind and polite and helpful. See, sometimes you're going to get negative behavior from a customer. Why? Because they're going through a stressful time, and it manifests itself in that fear, and the fear turns into behavior. This does not make them bad people. This does not make them mean people. We've got to stop looking at the behavior and making character judgments based on just the initial behavior that they carry with them through the door. We've got to be better people than that. We have to outlast them. We have to have empathy for them. We have to understand that the behavior we're seeing right now is the sum of their biases. But when we move past that, everything changes. So I want to encourage you to work on that even today. When you're meeting a customer for the very, very first time, to make the decision before they come through the door that you will outlast them, that you will work through any negative energy that they bring to you, any closed energy that they bring to you, any avoidance that they bring to you. It's all just an indication that you have work to do, that you have work to do in building that trust, in proving to that customer that you are not the person that they feared when they walked through the door. That's the idea. And when you do that, you'll be on the fast track to changing their world.